Tom and Dan to talk to you about our friends over at beardown-logistics.com.
Yeah, they're a logistics company, which means that they ship stuff for other businesses. Mm-hmm. So whether you need your stuff shipped from the factory that makes it to, all the places that sell it.
Correct.
Or maybe you need to ship some stuff from an event from one place to another. Any shipping, beardown-logistics.com can handle it. Corey Davis is a BDM internally. Here's his number, 386-212-0201. He will personally help you with all the logistics of shipping, anything for your company, the live tracking. They have great competitive pricing. They have all the different trucks for any size.
Yeah, they can handle it. They might be able to save you some money.
And if you're listening to this, maybe, all right, you're like, I don't know, this is not part of my company that I do. But someone in your company handles this.
Yeah.
And if you refer Corey and Bear Down to your company, to whoever handles the shipping side of it, we will either have you come in and watch the show. We'll send you a prize. Just send us an email and be like, hey, I referred Bear Down. They're using them now.
I will sit in your car like Tom did at Johnny's Burger Bed.
Yeah.
I will sit in your Mustang.
And maybe this will make you look good to your company, because I'm telling you, Corey Davis will help your company save money, and they do a great job. Again, it's beardown-logistics.com.
It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
It is the day after the Super Bowl. Welcome to the show, everybody. What are we going to plug?
Well, let's plug our cruise coming up in September, Tom and Dan Cruise 2024. It comes with a free drink package, which includes all alcohol.
Yeah.
So when you go on a cruise, you don't have to worry about paying for any alcohol or any other
not
drinks.
just alcohol,
and sodas. I mean, your sodas, you can rack up quite the bill on a cruise.
That's right.
But if you go on ours, you get that and free Wi-Fi. Tons of your friends. We offer events and parties that you can be a part of, but you don't have to. You can kind of make your own itinerary on this cruise. It's like freestyle cruising, and we just want you to be a part of it.
Yeah, you'll get a gift bag with our cruise T-shirt and some other private events that we do throughout the cruise, but feel free to explore a gigantic MSC seashore ship.
Brand new boat. I'm excited about it, man. And if you've ever been on a Tom and Dan cruise and want to come again, we'd love to have you, because they're really fun.
And also, we're doing a Sapo tournament, a Leap Day Sapo tournament, Thursday, February 29th at Hourglass in Longwood. So if you want to come and do that, we're going to start the tournament around 6 o'clock-ish.
As far as I know, we are the only podcast, radio show, and middle-aged influencers that play Sapo.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
We're the guys. Like, we're the Sapo
the only
guys.
Sapo.
We're the Sapo guys.
Yeah.
Like, you got, like, the magic tricks on the beach where the guy pulls the towel off of a girl. And she, you got those guys. You got, like, all the other influencers swirling around. We're the Sapo guys. Sapo tournament.
So let's talk Super Bowl.
Yes.
Super Bowls last night. It started real boring, I got to tell you.
Well, the first thing that started, and I messaged, I don't know if you guys remember this, but my wife used to work for Spectrum here. And if you don't know what Spectrum is, it's the cable company here in town.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys had this happen on your antenna end, but watching it on Spectrum, both the stream and from our cable box, both went down for about a minute and a half.
Oh, right. Yeah, I heard some people
6:22 or 6:23. Like, almost appeared like it had been hacked. Like, that's what it looked like. And it went totally out. I was one of the people involved, and I looked at my wife and I said, this is not... I wasn't upset, but I was like, oh, Lord, can you even imagine?
All the people are mad. Yeah.
Because I like watching the stream, because if I watch the Spectrum stream for, like, CBS... it's really good quality. So it was, boom, out, nothing. And then we had every other channel, I guess, except for that one. And I'm like, oh, God, this is really bad.
I heard some people complain about the Paramount Plus stream, had some glitches, but it ended incredible and went to overtime, which was a bet that I looked at all week, like, will the Super Bowl go to overtime? And it's just never, like, I was just like, it's too far-fetched, but plus 800.
Could we have used, because I was trying to, like, use AI to run prop bets and just messing around with it the morning of.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did notice that AI kept coming back to, and I don't know if this could have been used as data, but would this be considered a relatively low-scoring Super Bowl?
Well,
or an evenly matched Super Bowl? Because I will say that is the one thing I got out of running even the teams on Madden. I did it that morning. And it had the Chiefs winning by by a couple of points. But it did show me that on paper, if you just feed all the analytics to the computer, the teams together
they had the right direction. It was the under, which the under got hammered, and obviously at halftime it's 10-3. And by the way, the only reason I actually won money this Super Bowl, and we'll talk about some of the bets I did lose, but it was because it went to overtime and ended up being over. I teased the total down, so I needed to go over 41. It hit 47. Which it didn't. If you bet, it was 47.5 when it started, and it ended 46.5. But if you had the 47, you push. It was people were betting the under, and it did trend that way. A couple things. I didn't think someone was going to cry. And stupid Chris Jones screwed me on the damn will someone cry during the national anthem.
You and I were watching at the same time. The first text I sent you was like, oh my God, right out of the gate. I mean, it was like I had just sat down with a nice cold drink.
He knew about that. He put eye drops in, and he's trolling.
It was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful cinematic cries, tear releases I've ever seen. Who was that guy that cut to him? How did they know? Did they have that in the bank?
He said to the camera guy, watch that.
You're going to watch this. Because how did they get that? No, tell me how they got that. Were they Chris Jones, look at him, his nose is wiggling, cut to him, give me a one shot of Jones.
100% they're looking for people to cry.
But he's been there 4 times. This is old hat to him.
Literally walking into your old shed to get your lawnmower.
Well, look at how Taylor Swift reacted when she got Album of the Year. She's been there 14 times before.
Oh, I thought
she looked like she deserved it. She was like, I'm going to walk up there and get my award.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like, girl, you knew.
And so, also, I got burned by the nipples.
Excuse
me?
I never
Usher's nipples.
Let it burn. Was it during that song?
I never thought that, just with how I would think that they would want to be squeaky clean. Not to say that they can't have a man take his shirt off. I've seen people on the sidelines take their shirt, whatever. But I just thought they wouldn't put it in the performance, and I certainly didn't think that Usher would take off his jacket and then take off his wife beater. I'm back to saying that. I'm back to saying that. By the way, I'm sticking with that.
I'll go to the grave with wife beater.
I'm dying on the hill. I'm dying on the wife beating hill.
I call it a wife beater to my sons. They don't understand. But when he took off his jacket and he had his wife beater underneath, I thought I was saved.
I did too.
I was like, oh.
And then I didn't text you as soon as I saw the nipple because I knew he knows. I'm not even going to rub it in.
And then he started to pull off his wife beater. I was like, no.
He did it. And he looked good.
And it's 20 years exactly to the date that old Janet Jackson did it. Because, and
the nipples look exactly the same.
It's funny because I was explaining to my sons about...
why? Really? Why do you got to do that? Well, I didn't say one word to Maisie. That doesn't need to be in her mind. Well, she doesn't need to know that piece of history.
Well, when Usher took off his shirt, I was screaming...
This is a big deal, boys. Come over here, old grandpa.
I'm sure you screamed Sam was right.
Do you call yourself Grandpa Daddy?
I screamed, nipples! And then I was like, no!
Did you say that he was going to do it?
Yeah.
Because I know we said that his show in Vegas is very much...
him with the shirt off.
And we know Lunel and other friends of ours of the show have been there and say that he gets
it's a very
dirty.
Sexual
he
show.
Gets down and dirty.
Well, but I'm thinking in last year's bet.
He basically just brought his Vegas show to the Super Bowl. He did the skating thing.
The skating thing was cool.
Although
I loved the halftime show.
I thought the skating.
I thought you were gonna like the skating more because I was like, oh, Sam must love this.
You know what I mean? I'm like, bring something new to the Super Bowl. You do that at your shows all the time. You're opening skating rinks. He's marketing himself, obviously.
Yeah, but she's set a higher bar because she already had seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because
I've never seen part of his performance.
To those of us that haven't seen it, though, I thought it was.
I've never seen it in the Super Bowl.
I thought it was. I didn't want to see it. So he won me over. So I'm in that court. I was like, Andrea's like, are you even going to watch this? I was like, no. I want to do Puppy Bowl or some dumb stuff, And she's like, oh, let's watch it because that's more her era of music. So she really wanted to see it, and he won me over. I liked when they brought out Luda. I did not like Jermaine Dupri dressed like a tiny pilgrim, but I will dress like that.
I didn't know who that was at first. I'm like, who's the pilgrim?
Yeah, everyone thought it was CeeLo Green.
Even Andrea said that, and I had to correct her. She goes, that's CeeLo Green. I said, too skinny.
I'm glad everybody's race is like that.
No, it's just a miss-see. You just miss these, especially with my glasses. Everybody looks like CeeLo Green. You know what I mean?
Who
was the other? He brought out Luda and somebody else because That's the only other.
Will.i.am.
Will.i.am. That's the only other criticism I have is that look in the.
Lil Jon.
And Little John had on DeSantis boots that were pointing to the sky, and they were platforms, so I liked his DeSantis boots.
He's coming out with a meditation app.
Yep, I heard that. I heard he's coming out with an album. And then what I didn't like is the when Luda showed up and they're wearing the blue, like football pads that are spray painted blue. It looks like somebody made it in their garage, like somebody's dad spray painted. Like it's supposed to look like Road Warriors. Or,
Her was in the beginning. Everyone said looked like Northwest.
I thought her, I didn't know that her had such large hers.
Oh, yeah.
And she had those hers on display. So I was down for that. And she's a hell of a musician. What a great guitarist. It was good. I think if you go with something like that.
I thought it was
it would for me, it was on point with
I liked it better than the Rihanna Super Bowl.
Rihanna. Rihanna.
No,
you got it right.
Rihanna.
You got it right. Rihanna. I got it wrong.
Only because there was, they brought out multiple people. I always like it when they bring out multiple guests, what I'm saying?
Well, he had more guest hits, I guess, more.
No Bieber, though.
No Bieber.
But he was there.
The rumor I heard is that the reason he wears sweats and everything is because he's still healing from whatever autoimmune deal he's dealing with.
But it would be, I feel like, wrong to bring out Bieber only because it didn't signify the time. Necessarily that was real young Bieber.
He was giving you the hits.
Like we're talking 2004, 5, 2003, something like around there. Like Bieber was real young back then, so it was a way different Bieber. Like he ended up Bieber with the hits now or later on, right? 10 years after that. So back to the nipples. I wonder, they had to have internally a conversation like the Super Bowl because this is all planned, right? Like Usher, they knew Usher was going to take his shirt off. I wonder if anybody.
They didn't linger on it, and he did put his shirt back on.
Yeah, it happened quick.
Yeah, it was like the ending of a song. Then he exited, put on his football pads, his blue spray painted football pads,
came back on,
and then came back out.
So, but I just would have thought that obviously I was wrong. That the NFL was like, there was such a huge problem with the Janet Jackson nipplegate 20 years ago that maybe we'll look like hypocrites if we let Usher do it. That it stopped the world 20 years ago,
that's
and
exactly
now
what I was banking on.
and then it looks sexist, kind of. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of super corporate.
That's
of
exactly what I thought.
And then I thought they were gonna when he took off his jacket and the wife beater. I was like, all right, this is the compromise.
Yeah, because you want to fly close to the sun. You want to.
And then he took it. I was like, oh, nipples.
Yeah,
got me good.
I agree 100%. And Jackal brings up something in our Twitch and YouTube chat room. You can check out the show every single day. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live or Tom and Dan Live on YouTube. The thing that I wouldn't worry about would not be him taking his shirt off, whatever. At the end, when everybody was like it was kind of the finale, right? Everybody's on stage going. The flex in the stage was so great. You could see it bending.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's going to break and kill everybody. And then it's going to be real bad. That's what they should have been worrying about. Did they test that to see if they could put 200 people on there jumping up and down? It was giving me anxiety, but all in all, it was good. Like I thought it was fine. The one thing I don't like, and this is just my own personal preference, I don't like it when it's like the Apple Music.
Yeah,
I liked it better when it was like Pepsi. I liked it better when it was like somebody like Coke or something, like, because you're saying it's Apple Music. It for some reason I'm like, well, you're trying to tell me what to listen to. Like seriously, for some reason I'm like, I don't like it.
Well, it's a sign of the times. They got the money now.
Yeah,
Apple has and they have like a ridiculous amount of just cash on hand. Like Apple does, and they've been trying to figure out what Apple's going to do with their hundreds of millions of dollars of just liquid cash they have. But anyway, it's funny because I started thinking, when I was telling my sons about the Nipplegate back 20 years ago, and 20 years ago, if you explain what happened, it sounds insane. Because I was telling them, I was like, when...
That's why I wonder why you try to explain this to your sons.
Well, because
it's just going to confuse them.
They didn't know
Back
history.
in my day.
You know, it's like,
I mean, I do agree they need to know history, but I don't know if learning about Janet Jackson's sun-piercing nipple problem with Justin Timberlake from 20 years ago is the type of history we need to revisit.
And I was telling them, I was like, when it happened, and for a split second, her nipple was exposed. Like it changed. I was like, that's the reason Daddy went into morning radio. Because
you're really confusing them. They don't even know what morning radio is. You're literally
I know.
You're confusing the S out of them.
But think about that is if
it is. Yes,
if the Janet Jackson's nipple never happens, I may not even be here.
It was the knee jerk.
And
if it wasn't for Janet Jackson's
seriously,
nipple, Daddy wouldn't be the man he is today.
Yeah, that's
our
pretty
careers,
close.
Our career trajectory would be altered for sure.
Because that was in the 2003
Are you guys in the hot tub while you're talking about
Super Bowl? Wait, this is at night before they go to bed because they're
stretching it out.
Man.
Yeah.
What's the longest thing we can get him rolling on? Nipple history with Daddy.
The chat brings up a good point, and I didn't even think about this, that they have had nipples since, because Maroon 5 that lead singer of Maroon 5 did take his shirt off at the end of that performance. Because remember, everybody was talking about his tattoos.
You're exactly
right. So they've had other nipples shown.
Funny, don't even remember that.
I didn't either.
Because it only matters if it's top of mind or it matters at the time.
And they made a bet for it, which that gets
Did
spread
they make
around.
a bet for that?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
No, I mean, the year that Maroon 5.
No. Just this year.
Interesting. Well, that just makes me think, though, that it's all fake, and that somebody in choreographing this, a month ago was like, he takes his shirt off. And then they put it in there as a bet.
Also,
was it a bet because it was 20 years from?
It may have been. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know how they come about.
I don't trust any of it. Now I kind of feel like you're playing the simulation. Right?
Someone knew that was incorporated into the.
You started seeing it move, didn't you?
No, not that one. I saw the national anthem move. The national anthem started moving to the over. So obviously,
now, did you see the two guys on TikTok? It's two influencer boys, or I call them boys just because they're those guys.
Yeah.
And they go to the AI, I guess, robot that they have in Vegas there at the Sphere, and they ask the AI robot, who's supposedly very advanced, about Reba's, the length of Reba's national anthem performance, and then the robot gives them the answer that they want, and then they look at the camera, they're like, that's all we needed, now we're going to put 10,000 on it. And I was like, so you're seeing, so I started doing it with AI, and the problem with it is it can't analyze the now, because it has to use older data.
Yeah, just using historical data to predict.
I did get it to do that, and it did pull up multiple Reba performances and analyze them for me, and it did tell me to take the over.
It's just hard to realize that because you have a 50-50 chance. Right, so it's like, whatever it says, if it's right, you're like, oh my God, it's right. But it's like, really, you could have just picked one, and you're 50-50.
Yeah. Also, Reba had the most, if I'm just being honest, the most American anthem, national anthem I've ever heard.
It was going fast. I was like, no, slow down.
She was ripping
and
through
the Brave, she did two Braves at the end, and it saved me.
Yeah, she did do the Brave.
Yeah, and then she started
to high, I'm like, there she goes.
That's the only reason that it went over is that the Brave at the end.
I didn't think she was going to Western it up. She did. She had the belt buckle on, and she was a little more bounce.
Are we excited for the announcement of Beyonce's country album?
I'll listen to it.
She's coming out with a country album?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's speculating. That's why she was wearing the cowboy hat and everything. And, I mean, okay. Sure.
Is that real? She could really come out with a country?
At this point,
Beyonce announces new country album, Act 2, after Super Bowl commercial. You guys didn't see that?
I saw the commercial when they're like first person to release music from space or whatever, but I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought they were joking.
She's dropped 2 new songs already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
Let's hear
it. And I wanted to mention this. The funny part about the nipple is...
Well, then she's not going to win Album of the Year because nobody's even talking about her new stuff.
At the end of the game, when everybody's on the podium, you got Mahomes.
Texas Hold'em is one of the songs, if you want to look that up, and 16 Carriages is the other one.
Okay, you want a little Texas Hold'em? This is for you.
Yeah.
What if all of her songs go? She starts writing about gambling, country gambling.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that they're going to go full Texas, her and Jay-Z.
Well, the Righteous Gemstones already did that. There's the characters, remember?
This ain't Texas.
She's from Texas, so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a challenge. Like, can we break into this
I think so.
genre and be that?
It's like when Lil Wayne did a rock album, you know?
It's good. You know, I mean, it's not bad.
Like, Little Nas X,
He did it.
it's super funny that Little Nas X
I hate
was
to
at
break
one
this to
time.
a lot of
Well, he
weirdos.
did one song. He didn't do an entire country album.
I know, yeah. But I'm saying, he was a part of a super popular country song.
I hate to break it to people, but a lot of black people listen to country music. So, you know.
Post Malone is doing it, right?
Posty's going a little country, right?
Jelly Roll did it.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll. Well, he
like
went more like, rap hip-hop too, and then he slid over to like, I'm just going to be the guy singing the hooks here.
Yeah. But he was he was straight up rap hip hop, and then and I'd put him in the category of like underground, like ICP style. He had a following, you know what I'm saying? Like the people that followed. Who was the other guy who was with that came in here? Jelly Roll and
Juggle. It was Struggle Jennings.
Yeah.
I was going to say Juggle Strennings.
Yeah, they were all kind of like in that like Slamerican group.
But Struggle is one of those. He kind of got stuck in the mud a little bit for me because he's one of those. He's now like selling the kill all pedophile shirts, and you know, like he made it a little more political than he needed to. You know, like, he's doing well doing it. And he's kind of aligned himself a little bit more with that type of lane. I guess it's weird.
How funny is it that hating pedophiles is now political?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Our society is ridiculous.
It is. It's insane.
So speaking of ridiculous, I did laugh at the fact that when Mahomes and Andy Reid are standing on the podium giving their Super Bowl winning speeches, right? Our TVs are so good now, like harken back to the Nipplegate of 20 years ago. Like when that happened, that was before digital signals, I believe, because I remember like even people that had what's the old recording
DVR, whatever.
Or the TiVo or whatever.
Yeah, I was a TiVo guy.
Like people would rewind it, and you could barely see it through how bad the reception of the action. It wasn't crystal clear HD like it is today. So like even when you rewinded it, like you could barely see Janet Jackson's nipple. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all blurry. Like even the still shots on the internet are
and you don't
blurry.
even think about that.
Yeah. And then now, when like I'm looking at my TV and Travis Kelce is standing there and behind, and you could see the outline of his bell end, plain as day, on the podium.
You can freeze it and put a piece of paper up to it and draw it, you know, if you wanted to.
And I'm like, this is worse than fuzzy nipple.
Fuzzy nipple.
The outline of some man's bell end and his tight football pants, big on your screen, like you know what I'm saying, like, and it's there for 5 minutes straight while Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid gives their speeches. He's standing in the background. I'm laughing about how ridiculous society is. That it's like it changed the world 20 years ago, and now it doesn't even matter. Also, I remember I was telling you that that the 49ers made a incorrect decision statistically at the end of the game.
And I didn't know about this. Yeah, tell me through. You said that Shanahan did he messed up, right?
Well, so there's probably more to it. Obviously, go to like the coaches know better than I do, but statistically, and so in the playoffs, you know, there's different playoff overtime rules.
Yeah,
they changed it after the Chiefs-Bills game so that in the playoffs, both teams get a chance to possess the ball.
Correct.
Even after a touchdown.
Yeah.
But because of that rule change, it's statistically better for you to defer the kick in the playoffs, and here's why. And it's kind of hard to understand. Like when I heard like math gambling guys explain it, I didn't understand at first, but now I kind of do. So why it's better is because since you get a chance to kick a field goal or score a touchdown, let the other team go first, then you know exactly what you have to do in your possession. Therefore, if you like, so say you give it to Mahomes, he goes down and scores a touchdown. So now you know you have all four possessions, every single whole drive to try because
to get a touchdown.
It's all or nothing.
You have to have it. So you have a better map.
So if you go first, you don't know exactly what you need to win. So if it's 4th and 3, you may kick the field goal, and which would be basically letting them go first gives you more information, which gives you a statistical advantage because you can then go for it on every down.
It's tiny edges anyway.
Yes, yeah. So so in normal rules in in non-playoff and Super Bowl, then it's always better to take the ball because this one touchdown ends the game.
Right.
But in playoff rules,
he didn't do that.
He didn't do it. Now some people are saying that it's because his defense was tired. He was given a break. But I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it may have just been
and he may have known that, and maybe that's right. Maybe he did know what you're saying, and he's like, maybe I do need to give him a break because there are
so there could be a million different things that I'm sure, and I'm sure he knows it.
I didn't know that, but that does make sense. It's almost like if you were coming to the table to argue for a raise, it's almost better to sit back, wait, and let the person that you're talking to talk about what they're willing to offer you. Gives you a better map of knowing where to go with negotiation.
More information is better, yeah. Right. And if you know you have to go for it, and then if they kick a field goal, all right, I only need a field goal.
Yeah.
And so by getting the ball first, then they go down and kick a field goal. Now it's like, all right, Mahomes has the advantage because he knows it's field goal to tie it.
I can't listen to him talk anymore.
Because you sound like Kermit?
Yeah, I can't listen to Patrick Mahomes talk. I just can't do it. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Go to TomandDanCruise2024.com.
Make sure you put that 2024 in there.
If you don't, it will go to
some old gambling website.
It'll look like the remnants of our old cruise website, but there's gambling involved.
Apparently, we are really big in Korean basketball gambling. Huge.
Someone just bought it up at anyways, TomandDanCruise2024.com, and we leave in September.
We do.
And inside cabins start around $1,000, and it comes with free drinks and free Wi-Fi.
And bring, you could be like me, bring your family. Like we like going on a little cruise in action. So the Dennises will be at sea. You're bringing your kiddos. So should be a fun time. So come and hang out with us. It's TomandDanCruise2024.com.
Kenny Sampson's still here.
Hey.
So, what else do you want to talk about, Kenny?
Quick, have your kids ever done a cruise before?
Yeah. Yes, they've done a Tom and Dan cruise.
Yeah.
A couple times, maybe, or once.
I think Maisie won the wet T-shirt contest 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Don't at me. Get out of here with that.
You're the one making it weird.
Yeah, you're making it weird.
So since I was last here, I went out to Las Vegas, but this was pre-Super Bowl, so not Super Bowl talk. But
all right.
I was there the week before. They did deck it out, which like a lot of the hotels had all the branding. A lot of them had like official stores that you can buy swag. But this was before they knew any of the teams that were in there, and this was when it was the conference championships. So all the stores had all of the teams like apparels in there, which was kind of weird because they had to awkwardly like pull them immediately if they lost. But I was there. It was a pharmaceutical conference. I didn't produce this element of it. I was just doing some of the other parts of it. But it's a pharmaceutical conference. They have a whole bunch of money, so they had a concert night at the end of it for all of the attendees.
Ooh, Lady A. It's always Lady A. So every conference you go to, they say, who's performing at the conference? You'll never guess. It's Lady A. Right?
There are a lot of...
That would have been a good guess if it truly was, but it wasn't.
Most of them are Lady A.
A lot of country artists that do the big money company.
And it's the easiest gig because the stage...
Big and rich. That's another one. A lot of big and rich.
The stage setup is so minimal. Like, even if they're on tour, it's not even their normal tour setup. They just do that. They do their solid 45 an hour, and it's not even their normal show.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, too. And that one's actually good. If I got that one, I'd be like, yes.
It was John Legend.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I've seen John Legend performed more than any other artist in my life.
Really?
Just because Andrea likes him too. I have seen John Legend live 6 times. It's insane.
Damn.
I know, right? We added it up one time, and 4 of those were amazing. 2 of them were horrible.
Where does John Legend usually play? Is it like a House of Blues? Hard rock?
Yeah, House of Blues, hard rock.
But yeah, so for this year, and again, for a pharmaceutical conference, John Legend kind of makes sense. It's a little older demographic, they would enjoy his music. This year, it was Meghan Trainor.
Ooh, all about that bass.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, like, it was fun. Me and my coworkers were in the between Gen Z and Millennial era, so, we were having fun. We got invited to be a part of it. And Yeah, they don't tell the attendees until you're in there. So everyone piles into the arena, and this was at the MGM Grand.
But you're all ready for it.
It's supposed to be a surprise every year. Like only the hosts or the people putting it on know about it. And so they
was it the popular Kid Rock impersonator Kid Kentucky? That's a real guy. I tried to get him on the show, but he's too busy.
Well, so they announce Meghan Trainor, and the crowd applauds because they know the song All About That Bass, but after that, a lot of the demographic that would work for a pharmaceutical company doesn't really know Meghan Trainor. So
yeah, if you told me Meghan Trainor, I instantly thought.
Can you say it's all about that
Megan Thee Stallion?
No, I thought it sounded like a news person.
Meghan Trainor and weather with Meghan Trainor.
I had no idea.
So I mean, she's a good singer, good performer.
She's a product of YouTube. Right?
Yeah, she had her backup dancers up there, and they were doing their whole thing, but the crowd was starting to thin out because they all show up because they don't know who it is, and then when they kind of announce it, then they have the option to leave. So towards the end of it, it was like a very sparse crowd.
Really wouldn't know who Meghan Trainor is. Like you don't like.
I know all about that bass. And when you said that, I was like, all about that bass, no treble.
God damn it. You make it so easy, dude. I love it.
No, that's what it is, right?
That is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm driving.
I didn't know trouble until I said it just came out.
You almost said trouble. And I was like,
I feel like I'm driving in a classic car down the road, top down, and I look over at my little friend on the side, and he's like, all about that bass. No trouble. And I'm like, yes, I'll get you to Kmart. I'll get you to Kmart as soon as
you're taking me to Vegas.
So it's I didn't realize her husband was the kid from Spy Kids.
yeah.
And so
he's still a spy.
She's married to a kid.
Yeah, it's gross.
So,
but it's okay because he's a spy.
We were
that bass is a analogy for a kid
weedy.
So
sorry.
I was on board. Follow you down.
Me and my coworkers found a spot right in front. So she was at least acknowledging us, like we were having a fun time or whatever.
Meghan Trainor was acknowledging you?
Yeah, again, not that many people in the crowd. Off
should
to
have
the
gotten
side.
us an interview. This is another time you've let us down. You're just like EJ.
So off to the side was her husband, right? Who, and I forgot his character name on Spy Kids.
Ooh, is it like that ghoul that Ariana Grande is dating now?
No, but let me say this. He outkicked his coverage. I'll say that.
Oh, you got to see the ghoul, Ariana's ghoul.
Yeah.
Have you seen his ghoul?
By the way, I believe you insulted our guest the first segment when you were like, "Hey, you look like Ariana Grande's boyfriend." And
then, that is say that?
I did say that.
And then the next
I
breath,
said the ghoul.
and then the next breath, you turn to me and you're like, "Have you seen him online? He's a ghoul."
Oh my God! Why would you say that?
Yeah, you might have to pull that for the end of the year awards. I didn't even know I won an award, but that's definitely going to take the cake. That's bad. That was bad.
I did.
You called a guest a ghoul?
Yeah.
No, ghoul adjacent. I didn't say full ghoul.
Well, you said you looked like a person, and then the next sentence you're like, that person
and that
looks
person
like
looks like a ghoul. Oh my God.
And then I was trying to deflect.
I distanced myself.
What did you do, Tom?
I know, but I looked right at the guy. I looked right at the guy and I go, but you don't look like a ghoul.
But you do look like a guy that looks like a ghoul.
Yeah, that
ghoul adjacent.
Yeah, that made I just instantly froze and I came back up.
Oh my God! And this is so mean. I'm being so mean right now, but I have to be mean.
Well, while he's looking at that, so her husband was there, and he was off to the side, and he was like dancing along and singing along to the songs and stuff. So we were getting drunk, and we just started yelling his name and chanting for him, like instead of Meghan Trainor. And Meghan Trainor.
Now you're just being wise asses.
No, but Meghan, we were doing it out of love because we were thinking, hey, he needs to get some love too. Everyone's focused on Meghan Trainor. Her husband, is right there. So
they do a podcast together.
So we started.
They're very annoying.
We started chanting his name, but not his actual name, his character name from Spy Kids, which is probably very disrespectful. But Meghan Trainor noticed that and then invited him up on stage so that way,
Spy Kids.
But then, she was singing. I think there was one of the songs, love songs that she sings, but it was about him, and so she brings him up on stage, and she's like, "Hey, these guys wanted to see you up on there, and we're cheering." It's whatever.
Yeah, what is she? If she's getting paid $65K or whatever,
cake. Yeah, give whatever they want.
I've seen personally a lot of because I go to the insurance convention every year, and and because of Crystal's brother.
Yeah,
And
you've seen Lady A like 9 times.
yeah. It's always
Lady A
or some other country music artist.
You've seen Big and Rich, Lady A,
then
Luke Bryan.
There's all
Luke Combs,
and then they get up there and everybody's drunk in the audience, and then it's a small, smaller, intimate thing because it's a insurance convention, and I see the people on stage and they are happy as hell because it's an easy show.
A lot of money.
They don't give two. I mean, if no one was there, they're like, I'm here
they
for
already got paid.
Oh yeah,
it's like playing the best bar gig. The sound is amazing because they paid money for it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy! I got to show you this guy. Look at that guy.
By the way, his name was Junie, so we were all chanting
Junie.
Junie.
Look at that guy. He cheated. He destroyed his whole family to be with Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
I think his wife was like married when they.
That's actually a good photo.
they
of
were
him.
both married.
Yeah. Oh, it's real gross.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a second. So you're just a regular guy with wife and
This
kids.
is not a regular guy.
Well, he had a wife and family, right?
Yes.
But I'm
He's
just.
a Broadway guy.
Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is that if you were a regular person with a wife and you love your family and your wife and your life is fine and everything's good,
That's the meanest thing I've ever done.
but a celebrity wants to.
Hook up with
date you.
Oh, would I be the ghoul in this
become-
scenario? Oh, I would definitely cheat on my wife with Ariana Grande. Are you crazy?
But then you're thinking, you're like, it's my one chance to be
with Ariana?
with a celebrity. This is never
Who's
going to happen.
also married.
Yeah, but it's never ever going to happen again.
No.
So you have
Stars will never allow. I would do
have
it
to
for
take your
any
shot.
celebrity. If Craig Robinson in here, we go to the bathroom, he pulls me in there, and he's like, hey.
You got a fresh baby though. That baby's only like 3 or 4 months old.
Oh, that's better. Because the babies don't know whether
the baby is
it's
also,
worse when they're older, like 10. They've had experience with you.
In the public eye, it is not worse.
It does look bad in the public eye.
She just had a baby.
I understand that, but it's a good distraction for her while I cheat. You know what I mean? Like the baby will need care, and no one can care for the baby more than the mom.
This reminds me, though, but I could see Tom doing it. It's going to remind me of George Costanza with Marissa Tomei. Like how he was engaged and everything, and all of a sudden he had a chance to date Marissa Tomei, and then
he had to take it.
But he blew it.
Do you have one on the list? Does your wife have one on the list? Does everybody have one on the list? Which is that, it's the whole hall pass stupid thing from back in the day.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't have one. Too old, and I'm too disgusting to even be on the. I don't even play the game anymore.
It's a 0. It's less. It's never. I'll bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's no chance any celebrity with any of us.
There's no chance that any other woman wants to sleep with me.
By the way, any of our listeners too.
Yeah,
I'll put it out there. Any of our listeners.
I saw you getting tagged a lot in the weekend on the BDM.
No, you're doing good.
No, that's fine.
You're doing good with all of your
go to a pool party
with all of your training and everything. You're good. In fact, I think you're definitely keeping the show alive, being the subtle heartthrob.
Do you mean
of the show.
Celebrity not getting with any of your listeners, or any of the listeners getting with you?
No, the celebrity. Like our listeners getting with.
I thought you meant celebrities. Okay.
No,
I thought you meant listeners hooking up with us.
That's what I thought.
No, we can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I could have gone to the pool party.
That's what I'm saying.
I was going to disagree.
I'll show you what I got.
I was going to disagree about the celebrities part.
I can run 2 miles now. Stop it. You know what? How much pumping I can do?
You're dealing with people who work with.
Working on his cardio.
Yeah, my
cardio.
You're talking literally to someone who deals with celebrities a lot.
Have you ever had the opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah.
With who?
What?
Tell us everything.
Oh my God!
What are you even holding back
Oh my
for?
God! You got a from Gary Coleman.
Can we say that?
I don't know. I don't think you can say that. But there's the first thing. I looked into your eyes and I was like trying to read your thoughts, and I was like, I think he got it from a little person, like a hand, just a hand. He got the hand.
Tell us.
He can stand up.
Did you get the old security guard lefty? Did you get security lefty?
It also depends your level of celebrity. I'm not saying it's going to be Ariana Grande level.
Yeah.
But
what do you got?
They had to have at least
look at him lean back and cock his foot up. Oh, we're about to get the juice.
They had to have been on TV, national TV, more than 3 times.
Oh my God. Was it the whale? Did you almost sleep with the whale? I would sleep with the whale. What's that guy's name? Tarzan.
Brendan Fraser.
Thank you. I called him Tarzan.
Johnny Weissmuller.
If Brendan Fraser came to you dressed full whale and said, "Be with me,"
I know.
I would.
But it's a money.
I don't know why. Why would you do it?
He's on the set in between things. He's like, they can't take the makeup off. It takes too long to put it back on. I have to kiss you now. I'm like, kiss me, whale.
There's some WWE people
What? Oh, Vince McMahon in your hand.
Can we say that?
I knew it. As soon as you walked in,
You've been Vince. I knew you'd been Vince.
I shouldn't have said the company.
Yeah. I knew you'd been Vince.
And then you stayed there, and he took a shower and came back out.
of you to Brock Lesnar saying, I got this guy. He's got blue hair.
Target acquired. So in your industry, though, you potentially could have the chance to meet Carrie from Mythbusters. You know what I mean? Like she might.
Yeah, but she's not going to be trying to hook up with Tom.
Have you ever met Carrie from?
But we don't know that.
No.
Do you know that I've actually talked to her on Instagram? She's very nice because we know the other lady that from the Science Center that is very good friends with
Dr. Tracy?
Yeah,
I think she might be coming back in.
Yeah, Dr. Tracy is, and so I replied to something that they said. They were at a Magic game, and then they replied back to me. She's very nice, but she doesn't want to. She's fine.
No, yeah. I mean, it's celebrities want to be with celebrities.
Not always.
I mean, or a celebrity adjacent. They're working in the industry somewhere.
Sometimes they like a random hookup.
As a young man,
but they're never with the plumber.
No, but as
the
a young
local
man,
Arnold Schwarzenegger was with a lot of nannies and housemaids.
Well, that's
men are
opportunity.
different.
That's
Men
just
will
opportunity.
men will cheat on anybody.
Yeah.
No.
So I've got a better opportunity. To
Yes.
cheat with a celebrity.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
You could just be around a horny celebrity and then easily.
I mean,
girls usually
pre-pandemic, earlier when we were running comedians in and out of here, guys. I mean, all you would have had to have done is flirt a little bit, and I think opportunities would have shown themselves.
Oh, damn it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right? No, but Tom, to your point, you're right. A lot of celebrities want to be with celebrities, but only in the sense because that's who you see. In the span of celebrities, you're not seeing the celebrities that are with average people or normal people who have normal jobs. This is what I was going to say.
As a young man, I used to really hold on to the hope of like the Julia Roberts is dating
Lyle Lovett.
Danny, he's the camera guy. Look up.
Oh, the camera dude.
I'm blanking on his name, but Danny something.
Yeah,
and
you have to be in have an opportunity to meet them, like on set. You're the camera guy. You have a lot of downtime.
Yeah, but like Ricky Martin, for example, his ex-husband was an accountant. But not his accountant, not an accountant at the firm. It was just a guy he met. He happened to be an accountant.
You know, for a split second, I sat
again,
here.
it's a dude, hornier.
Yeah, they are.
Dudes are out the window. Like girls,
Danny Motor.
I'm
Danny
saying
Motor. Yep.
For the average guy, straight guy, if you want a female celebrity, way harder to hook up with a female celebrity
And more guarded because there's way more creeps, right? I think just by design, like Taylor Swift, bad example, but she's had so many horrible male creep interactions just from the general public sending her messages that she's so protected, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most women are, and they should be because guys can be creepy.
I mean, the stuff that, we've seen it with Sam, and any female in entertainment is going to get is going to be way more guarded because the creeps come out of everywhere, and it's all sexual. In fact,
I was going to play the creepy part.
Have you heard in your life the random story of like some dude that had a hookup with a higher, like,
this is
A or B list celebrity story?
But I listen to a lot of celebrity gossip podcasts.
In what instance was it just?
I mean, any musician that plays any show, any actor that's downtown partying, they'll hook up with random people. They're not typically dating them.
Also,
it's
athletes.
more of a hookup.
Yeah.
Athletes too, because that's a weird subculture, at least in the NBA, that even if you have a wife or a girlfriend, it's almost known that when you're on the road, you're going to hook up with people.
Pass,
or again, though, with men, I know that men celebrities or athletes will hook up with anybody
There's
around.
Not even a question. I don't even.
I'm just thinking like female celebrities, hooking up with random dudes, like
I've never
actresses
heard
or anything. Like, did someone ever hook up with Cameron Diaz at her height of her fame?
Okay, I have one.
Or like something like that.
I do have one. I have to be careful. It was a person I worked with, but it was, do adult entertainers count?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so
because
either.
I think adult entertainers
they're different. They're woven differently. Their brains are like
because wasn't there the story that you met one that she was legitimately trying to like flirt with you off air?
I did have one that flirted with me. I never was given ever given the green light to. Like, I may have embellished and made it sound that way, but yeah, I did have a one. I had two particular porn actresses flirt with me, but I just assume that that's what they do.
Yeah,
because they're hypersexual porn actresses, right?
Yeah, it's part of their character.
Yeah, it's like a Hooters waitress putting a heart around,
your check.
$22. It's like, yeah, you're like, that's what they do.
Calling you hun.
Yeah.
I think she likes me.
Anything else, Kenny, or should we play some voicemails? We got one voicemail.
Yeah, probably got time for one, unless you got something else on your mind.
No,
Who are you going to hook up with besides WWE people? Who did you have the opportunity? I need to know.
Listen, I got to plan these bits out.
And were any
Sam.
of them not women?
I got to plan these bits out, Sam, because I'm here once a month and I got to have stories.
Yeah, I got a good voicemail.
I can't just like.
Can you claim is that in any sort of way defamation?
I think it is.
With celebrities, not.
Well, it depends to a certain extent.
It depends on if they can prove that it's harming their business and stuff.
You could also put it out as a blind and not say their name or your name and not get in trouble.
And that happens a lot.
That's why I just said WWE and
But that's
NXT.
dangerous. There's a recent blind item journalist that had a page that blew up that this particular guy was putting a lot of blind items on his page and it was getting a lot of like heat, and then somebody outed him. And it like brought his whole empire down because once you're once people know you're the guy that's causing all the trouble with the blind items, like you're done. You know what I mean? Like,
there's some famous blind item people.
What's blind item?
It's basically gossip, but you don't say the names of the people that you're talking about, but you put clues in the post so that people can figure it out. Or
it's like a reality star that might be a housewife. You know what I mean?
They basically roundabout describe the person.
Yeah, without any credible proof of it or whatever.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be true.
No,
it could be something that they heard. It could be, it could
no
be
different than it's like rumors say that the Magic are going to be trading for an elite point guard from Houston.
Right.
It's like, well.
It's the same thing, but just with gossip.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Let's do this one right here. This one will work.
Hey, Tommy and Danny and Sammy. I got a question for the crew. When you go out to eat and it's time to pay the bill and you've got to calculate the tip, I was curious how each one of you guys calculates the tip, or rather, does your wife or husband do it? Because I was just recently at the Beef O'Brady's fine dining restaurant, and they had a Metallica pinball machine that I decided to take advantage of. And when I returned to the table after I had eaten with some friends, including my wife said, "Is this enough tip for the bill?" Because that's what I gave him. And I'm like, how do you not know how to tip?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Too many details in that, by the way. I didn't need to know about the Metallica pinball.
I loved the pronunciation of Beef O'Brady's.
Yeah.
I loved knowing that it was a Metallica.
Do you guys know how? Like, do you have a certain way? I just do 10% of whatever the bottom line was, and then I double that. That's 20%.
That's exactly it. You move the decimal point is 10% times 2.
Yeah,
20.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
Well, I just double the first number.
See, you're doing the
husband
same
typically
thing.
does it. Otherwise, I use the calculator on my phone because I have a calculator in my pocket.
Doubling the first number is dangerous because let's say it's $71 versus $79. You're kind of screwing them out of a couple of bucks that you should be. Because
over 5, I add an extra $1.
He does have an exception.
Well,
asterisk.
If it's like 35, then I'll tip 7. You know what I'm saying? Because like 5 or over, I'll roll it up one more.
Do you guys ever do the round up when they're like, you want to round up to the nearest dollar to go to charity?
Yeah, I do, just because I think that they think I am a
better person. Yeah. Now, have you
Okay.
ever said no and then had the person confront you?
Not confront me. I always say I did it yesterday.
Wait,
I
which one do you do? Do you actually round up, or do you just say that you round up?
What would you do though if the person
this MFer just got caught in a lie?
If I said, "Hey, would you like to round up to help kids with leukemia?" and you said I did it yesterday, and I said I was here yesterday,
and I asked you.
and I said no one did it yesterday. Not one person did it. In fact, that's why I'm asking today. What would you do? Would you literally shrink into a ball and explode?
No, I would start laughing because I
oh my God.
because I think you're messing with me, you're effing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'd look around like, what is this?
And then what if I'm just staring you in the eyes? I'm not moving.
I would always think it's a joke and I'm on some sort of reality show.
It's the worst candid camera ever. You ask someone to round up for $1.
Or you're messing with, like there's no way this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would be messing with you. It wouldn't be
Are you going to look around? Can anyone see this? Anyone see this?
Just me.
Let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
And Dan, Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
A couple things. Tom and Dan Cruise 2024. If you want to book our cruise in September.
Give us a little bit of time to email you back and get at you. But yeah, if you have communicated with us, we will get a hold of you, and we would love nothing more than for you to participate and come on our cruise. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Also, the Smash Beer Fest is this weekend, February 17th. So you can go to flsmash.com. All proceeds go to charity. And we got the Leap Day Sapo tournament at Hourglass Brewing in Longwood, Thursday, February 29th. Leap Day. So if you want to come out and play Sapo, all ages are welcome.
Yeah,
you can bring your kids if you want.
Yeah, bring everybody. The old school, like European pub style. Like, just stop by and hang out with us, man.
I don't care if your kids drink beer.
You can do whatever you want.
You're the parent.
Yeah. I mean, you can smoke a joint in your car with your children before you walk in. That's none of my business.
Oh, Hourglass said they do not want us
No,
to
they
say.
do not.
What about my
They
part
said
about
they
the smoking
will
the
be
weed?
shut down, and the government will shut them down.
What about my part about smoking the weed with your kids?
We're losing a lot of sponsors again.
You could do that, right? I think you could do that.
I don't care if you smoke weed.
I don't know
with your
about you
kids.
guys, but I smoke. I don't smoke it, but
Dave Chappelle does it.
I smell weed everywhere. There's not. I can't go outside and not smell weed everywhere.
Oh, it is.
When you're driving,
people are just smoking blunts left
everywhere
and right in traffic. Yeah.
Aren't you too like? If I smoked a blunt while I was driving, I will be too high to drive.
Yes, I can't
know
do it.
that's
like,
severe.
Smoking a blunt,
But people have different.
but
you
to your
smell it
head, to
everywhere.
yourself,
It's everywhere.
Like you're a whole blunt, like you'll be insanely high.
It's
right?
anywhere
Maybe
I
that
go.
just makes them even, bro.
If I'm driving down one of the most populated roads here in Orlando, Colonial, driving down Colonial, smells like weed. Go inside a hospital, smells like weed. Head shop smells like weed. Any restaurant smells like weed. Every bathroom smells like weed because people get up, including myself, excuse themselves to the restroom. You go in the handicap stall. You sit down like you're pooping. You blow. You toot. You hold it in, and then
The biggest exhale.
Well, as you're walking out, what I like to do is there's two moves. You can either blow it behind you and walk away fast like that's not mine, or you can blow it down. I like to blow it down my shirt so it'll blow out the leg holes of my
No, you got to blow it in the toilet and flush. Everyone knows.
You flush your
Yes.
ghost.
Does that
Flush
work?
the goat.
Does
Flush
that
the ghost.
work?
Yes.
Hold on a second. I never knew that. So I lift the seats up, and then
You don't even have to lift the. Oh well, yes. If the full
I want more
yeah.
room, yeah. And then so I blow my ghost into the toilet gently or hard.
Hard.
Okay, hard.
Do you blow?
And you gotta have a small, what is it, embouchure?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? She's absolutely correct. Embouchure. Yeah, you are absolutely correct.
So you
Right to the flush hole.
Sam got the technology.
Flush that ghost.
So you trumpet blow it towards the flush hole,
Yeah.
but then do you
Dizzy Gillespie, straight down the hole.
Do you flush while you're blowing it?
Yes, absolutely.
And then
That's my question.
you blow the rest out.
The vortex sucks the ghost out. It's just like Ghostbusters, guys.
If you blow it,
It's called ghost flushers.
I think if you blow it and then flush, it's already coming back out.
Exactly, 100%,
You have to
yes.
like flush
Then
then blow.
blow.
Yeah, it's like one
While it
motion.
sucks.
It's like this. It's
right.
like,
But then
It's
if you don't get it all out while it gurgles back, and then it's going to start coming, you're like, oh my god.
sometimes I don't get it all out when I'm walking back to.
That's why you're gonna go hard and fast.
Well, I'm walking back to the table at Applebee's, and Andrea and Maisie are sitting there, and I have a little bit left, so I have to then I blow it into my Diet Pepsi. Like, hard.
What if you go to the
Look,
sink?
the chat knows they've done it.
All right.
God, how am I so behind on this?
Come on, guys.
What if you blow it down the sinkhole?
No, there's no vortex to suck it down.
I got another
okay.
one. You don't want the whole idea is to not let people see your ghost, right? We're blowing ghosts.
Or smell, yeah.
Yeah, or smell your ghost. So what you do is you go up to the Eliminator, whatever that huge monstrosity of an air drying machine. Isn't it called the Eliminator, the Excalibur?
Yeah, Excalibur.
It's called like the Rectifier or something. Like it's it's got a very aggressive name. It's like the Rectifier. So go up to the Rectifier after you've tooted in the handicap stall. Put your hands under it as that thing's blowing out 109-mile-an-hour air. Blow your ghost into it.
That'll fill the whole room.
It'll just say yes. Tom said it. I think it'll disperse.
And then you say, "What the hell? This thing's
I was thinking smoking. Back up.
It's gonna blow.
It's blowing weed smoke out of it." Then everybody runs
There's a
over.
little ghost smoking weed in that little blow machine.
There's weed in this thing.
It's a weed machine.
I want to buy one of those for the studio, but with shaking out 2024, I don't know where the budget
we're losing
is.
a lot of money. We
I
got
don't
a
know.
smaller budget
I don't
this
know.
year.
I was actually thinking of going green. I'm trying to get the studio to go green.
All right.
A lot of the new technology I've been implementing around here is cutting costs. A lot of LED lighting.
All right.
And we're actually going, I think we're going paperless in the bathroom.
Oh, paperless?
We're going paperless.
Oh.
We're doing bidet and rectifier.
And the infinity towel that you like so much.
I love the infinity towel. Everybody else says it's straight disgusting because it is a real towel that you can wipe your boogers on and then it just goes back in.
What?
It's like a towel on a
cloth towel,
like that's basically on a roll, and then as you pull it, it rolls back through
You're
the
too
machine.
young for this.
We've talked about it.
It's an old product,
but so you dry your hands on the towel, then you pull it, and then it circulates back through the machine, and the machine cleans it.
How does it clean?
I don't think it cleans it.
It runs it through some brushes.
Yeah, some brushes to wipe the boogers off.
Yeah.
I don't think it cleans it. It was a white towel with like red and blue marks on it, and it was a machine, and it was a cloth towel that hung in the machine. Yeah, and you'd pull it, and you'd dry your hands on it, and then it would go back in the machine.
Yeah, and I guess the machine maybe dries it, but yeah, it's gross.
It's really gross. It's especially when you because when I was using it as a kid, it wasn't gross because I didn't know about all the secretions in the body. When you know of all the secretions in the body, it changes the play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're a more simple human, like as a boy, I only have three things that come out of me. 4: spit, pee-pee, poo-poo, boogers. That's it.
Yeah.
You got the 4, the big 4. And then, but as you get older, you start realizing other things, and then that's where it starts to take a real shift.
Yeah, then you're like, people are wiping their hands on this. People
are doing horrible things here.
So Sam, before we started, told me about the Jesus Stingray. That was.
I'm sorry. What?
There's a stingray in what aquarium?
So it's a aquarium in North Carolina. It is the Aquarium and Shark Lab on Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. So it's basically like a retail shop. It's like a retail shop, and it's in like a window, right? And it's an aquarium with no male stingrays at all.
Okay.
But somehow one of the female stingrays in this aquarium got pregnant, and it has 4 pups that are about to be birthed in 2 weeks. And they are trying to figure out how the stingray got pregnant. And when researching, when they were, checking to see, because they saw that she had some, it looked like a growth or something. They're like, wow, what's going on with her? They checked her, found out that she's pregnant.
I do that at Walmart when I see people. I'm like, you have a growth on your stomach. They're like, I'm pregnant.
And when they checked to see that she was pregnant, they also found shark bite marks around her. And they were saying that is how these particular sharks actually mate. So they're wondering if this shark mated with this stingray, or if in some other science anomaly, this stingray just manifested these eggs on her own.
It was a lot cooler, again, not to go back to when I was a more simple human, but as a young boy, I used to think that, if a fox slept with a horse, you'd get a fox horse. It was an easier way to live.
I'm pretty sure, now you guys know I'm not an expert, a biologist.
No, we are sure of that. We are positive of that.
But I'm pretty sure that different animal species cannot breed with each other, that does not exist. Now, that a horse and a donkey can produce a mule, which is a mule.
It's a variation, right? Just like there are many dogs that are canines that
dogs can
spread their dominant traits throughout creating different hybrids or variations,
different breeds of dog.
Yeah, all we are different variations of humans.
Yeah.
Me being the more horrifyingly weaker side of humans,
but a dog and a cat can't. That doesn't work.
But the show Cat Dog on Nickelodeon was one of the best cartoons, right there with Rocko's Modern Life.
Now,
Rotto's.
I also know that from the movie Jurassic Park that there are some frog species that can switch genders.
It's a type of asexual.
All of those frogs have blue hair.
Them. A type of asexual reproduction in which offspring develop from unfertilized eggs can happen without a genetic contribution by a male. It usually occurs in some insects, fish, amphibians, birds, and reptiles, but not mammals. Documented examples have included California condors, Komodo dragons, and yellow-bellied water snakes. A research scientist in the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, who is not involved with this particular aquarium, said that this is the only documented example that she's aware of this species, the round stingray, of it ever happening. But she says she's not shocked. Other kinds of sharks, skates, and rays, a trio of animals often grouped together, have had these kind of pregnancies in human care. So they're believing that she did this on her own and that the shark had nothing to do with it, but we will see in a couple weeks.
So what's interesting is the biology of reproduction, right? You need like
fascinating.
It's
absolutely fascinating.
But this happens with all life, where it's like the female, you need the seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got an egg and a seed. It's the same thing with like even It's funny because when I was messing with my plants a lot more, like you start learning how to pollinate plants, and then you're
taught
like,
me how to do that.
and then just like, it's exactly like you take the flower that looks like the D, and then you
rub it
rub
on the thing that looks like the pig.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then you're like, it works this way with everything.
Yeah.
And,
Plant pervert.
So I wonder how the hell an animal can create the seed from its own body from nothing.
It says these animals do not clone themselves. Instead, a female's egg fuses with another cell, triggers cell division, and leads to the creation of an embryo. The cell that fuses with the egg is known as a polar body. They are produced when a female is creating an egg, but usually aren't used.
Huh.
Damn. God, if human women started doing that, our days are numbered.
Right? Oh, yeah. There would be no need for... we've said this.
They just create the thing, and they'd be like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
You are disgusting.
Yeah. They would need to use robots to help them enslave us because we're stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But actually,
I'm not. I might choose to work with the ladies. Can I choose?
You can, but you'll
when in the great rise up. How would?
But we'll be real mad
at me.
Yeah, because you're a traitor.
But I'm a demigod. Like literally, they put me because I've defected. Yes, did I sell my soul? Yes, you could make that argument, but you could also make your argument. I played the smartest hand I had, and I made myself infinitely powerful within the female organization. Right?
No,
because I think like
they'll
you guys.
whip you.
No, they'll use me because I think like you guys. Purely, they will use me. I will become. It'll be like Why the Last Man. Like they will use me because I will have the horniness, the stupidity. I say the dumb things, the misogyny. Right. I have all the things inside of me, and they'll weaponize me. Yeah, but they'll use me to know your every move. Anything you go to do, they'll just ask me, and they're going to do this, and they'll be like, "Uncanny, he was right again." That's how it'll go.
Anyway, and I'm sure they're using this now. They could just have use this as publicity for their aquarium, right?
I kind of think like everything's that now, right?
So people like visit, then see the stingray that
it's like a piece of bread with Jesus's face toasted into it.
Yeah.
It's like, and plus it's harmless because you said, we don't know how she got pregnant. Well, I mean, we do. It was a stingray, and you do too. You're lying because you want people to go to your stupid Main Street aquarium. There's a lot of people, like, it's not a lie, but you're just, like, not telling us the truth because you want publicity. Because it is so hard to get publicity in an endless sea of delusion.
Yeah. And for an aquarium, like, it could be...
Not even that impressive anymore.
Someone, thought of, like, hey, what if we said, the stingray's pregnant, we don't know how it got pregnant,
Because how do you even punish them for doing that? Other than being like, shame on you,
You don't.
You don't think anybody would blow the whistle on the fact that they had male stingrays?
Well, I'm saying
everybody's in on
people are too lazy to blow whistles, I feel like sometimes.
I feel like people are waiting to blow whistles.
You're right. Although
for their own fame, but this one isn't big enough, right? It's just
a nothing. Even if they I bet there will be a story later on down the line where someone inspects the stingray and then they're like, oh, it turns out the stingray just got pregnant like any other stingray. Then they're like, oh yeah, in transport there was a male.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, this ray's been there for years.
Well, I'm saying like some other male
dropped some spunk in there.
Or it could just be what the scientist said, and she probably just manifested it herself.
Yeah.
And then, but even if you did some more research, it's like, oh yeah, this has happened before, and in the 70s at the San Diego Zoo, and it's like no one even cares. You know what I'm saying? There's like,
I'm glad I brought it up. God damn.
Not you.
Now he's crapping on my segment.
No, not the messenger.
interesting.
The message, not the messenger.
You
the message.
wanted to talk about it.
No, I know, I did.
It's stupid. No one cares. You look like a ghoul. Get off our show. My God, what are you guys doing? Nobody listens to the podcast or the commercials.
I looked around and I was like, "Where's the ghoul?" You scared me. I thought there was a ghoul. I was ready to attack.
He's hiding in the bushes.
No, what I'm saying is it's an interesting story, but I think there's no miracles anymore. You know, it's just like the.
That's why you and I cling the Miracle Whip so badly. It's because there's an utter lack of miracles right now.
I saw a TikTok video that was put together yesterday that said that...
Spoiler alert, there were never miracles.
No, they're like scientists found city lights 7 trillion miles away. They found evidence of city lights on a different planet. Right? So I'm watching this TikTok, and then as I'm watching, I'm like, no, they didn't. Because it would be a tremendous story, a global story.
It would be a global event for sure.
A global event of
it'd be the breaking news.
To the point where it would be the only thing the entire world was talking about, right? And
unless the gatekeepers thought we couldn't handle it, right?
There's a lot to talk about right now.
But I'm just
maybe they would think we can't handle it.
With our attention spans, I mean, there's been stuff that's come out that nobody's talking about.
No, yesterday they did.
That's important stuff.
They did an example of this yesterday. They had we had one congressman release information saying that Russia now has a nuclear space weapon. And then you had other people that were coming out saying, we don't want people to freak out. Like, it was like they do pick and choose what they say depending on whether or not they think we're going to freak out.
Well, I've always assumed that Russia and China has nukes and satellites.
Or ways to take down our satellites.
Sure.
Yeah. Or we have that too. Or
and then everybody has everything. Yeah. You know, so that doesn't really, I mean, I was just like, okay, well, you know, the fact that nuclear war is a possibility if everybody just wants to blow up the world has always
kind of been in the back of my mind. Yeah.
Since the damn 50s, right?
It hasn't changed.
Yeah. So, and I thought that it was just, everybody...
Unspoken,
the mutual assured destruction doctrine.
Hey, man, you be cool, I be cool, we're cool.
Yeah, like, let's
just
not...
be cool, bro.
Let's not blow up the world here. And everybody's like, all right.
I got my finger near it.
All right, good talk.
And then there's a bunch of crazy leaders that you can't think about it.
Crazy characters.
Yeah.
Just live your life and hopefully
hope for the best.
I had an army buddy tell me something that like I've been trying to implement more, and it's very hard. And you can apply this to a lot of things though. Like keep your world small.
Yeah.
It's such a simple, good army, it's like, don't worry, you just keep your world small, and as long as you're worrying about the things in your small world, you'll have the wonderful life. You'll have an outstanding life.
There's no need to know about anything outside of your...
It's really hard for me to do that because I'm not wired that way, but it is the thing I try to attain. Like, I do put it up on a shelf, and I go, like, remember, Dan, keep your world small.
Yeah, 100%, right? Why even concern yourself? I know people are like, don't put your head in the sand, you need to be informed.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said.
Yeah, if you can't do anything about it, what's the point of knowing about it?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you read all these things about foreign wars and the possibility of
and once you realize
things.
that a lot of those things are written just to keep you reading, it's real sad. So keep your world small is what I'm saying.
No, that's good.
Do we want to jump into... I didn't know what we were going with after the Stingray thing, but I
had no plan.
I have voicemails and we have emails if you would like to continue.
Yeah, let's do some voicemails.
The number one voicemail, I'll just say it, the number one thing that people have been talking about in recent time with our show. Hold on here. Normally it's like something, like the sit-stand thing was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the debates,
The debates, that was like one of the first ones.
Then the dowsing rods happened.
Dowsing rods.
Sure.
That's a big one. Another one, we've had
Currently, it's the interviews.
Interviews is a big one. Tip calculator is another one. That one's kind of big. But yeah, interviews is the biggest one. Let's go with... Oh, God, these are not in the order I wanted, but let's try this one.
Hey, Tommy and Danny and Sam.
No, they already did that one. That was the tip calculator one. I didn't delete that yesterday. Let's go with this one right here. Do you think
Gentlemen,
sorry.
Sam, what's up? Listening to the Friday Free Show, Dan's telling a story about getting his bike and his wife picking it up for him from Orange Cycle, which is a little rich for my blood, but I love that place. And I got to say, Dan, just like you, sometimes I feel like I can be a little emasculated or demasculated, as you guys sometimes say, about, the wife being like, well, did you pack this or did you remember to grab this? Or my daughter will also leave me notes to say, don't forget, we have this thing tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. I'm the dad. That's great. So
you guys are getting mad, but there's a reason why they're doing this. They're not just doing it because they're having fun writing you notes and reminding you things. This might sound like it's a you problem.
We got a lot of dads. That was just an example.
They're trying to help you out.
Yeah, we got a lot of dads that were like, hey, Dan, I'm just like you. My daughter.
It seems now it's I'm just like Dan. I'm just like Tom.
I'm bringing this up.
It's shifting.
I'm bringing this up. Also, on his birthday, it's important for him to hear the real. You need to know reality, okay? And the reality is,
I hate reality.
There's a whole other group of dads.
I stick my head in the sand.
Yeah.
Don't think about it.
These dads get letters from their daughters. I think Richard Herron's one of them. I think he's one a dumb old dad with a daughter dad. Dumb old daughter dad.
Yeah,
you get letters from your daughter telling you how dumb you are.
Yeah. I don't get this from my sons.
No.
My sons
it's
are
a
dumb.
horrible place to be.
My sons are dumb like me. And they're all dumb together. We all
if they have daughters, they'll get notes saying how dumb they are.
And we don't know what's going on or what day it is. I woke up, I forgot it was my birthday. My sons forgot it was my birthday.
The chat room says, SJ agrees. He says, I miss the letters from my daughters.
Aw, see?
I love you, buddy.
One day you'll grow up and miss them.
No, I know.
Crystal was the only person in our house that remembered it was my birthday today. And then she had to remind my sons, and then they scrambled to get... I don't care, though, man. I don't care about...
Get the crayons. We got to draw something fast.
Yeah, but if Crystal wasn't there, we'd just go about our lives. We would never remember. Like, if it was just me and my boys, oh, man.
Nobody would ever know how old they are.
No one would know nothing. We'd barely get through anything. And my God, the lunches would be real rough.
All egg sandwiches, hoarder house crazy, laundry everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I run out of things.
Yeah, because they're out by the pool. I seen it when I went to your house.
Do you do piles? I do little piles.
Oh, there's piles everywhere.
Yeah, in the bedroom, and this makes Andrea so mad. I do little piles of things I'm going to wear again. So, if I wear my jeans, and then my jeans have the belt on them, I fold them with the belt on them.
What determines a second wear?
Oh, second wear. I wear jeans like maybe 9-10 times before I wash them. Every single pair of jeans I've ever
Even
had.
if you get them dirty?
No, if I get them dirty, they go. But if I'm just wearing them like these pants that I'm wearing
to
today,
work, and then
I can wear these 5 more times.
Yeah. They don't get, you have pants protectors.
Do you guys dry your jeans like in a dryer?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do, because I don't I like the dryer. For some reason, it makes me think that it flings off all the residue, because when my wife will hang my pants, they're so stiff. You know what I mean? Like, it has like the residue of the detergent. So they're stiff, and then I put them on, I feel like I got to wrinkle them out a little bit. Today, I am wearing, I'm going to show you guys my fit. Today, I am wearing, these are $25 Airwalk Walmart joggers, and I think I'm going to do you.
What are you going to do with all those pockets?
I'm buying 10 pairs of these, and I'm just going to be
joggers.
I'm just going to be little black joggers, Danny. That's all I wear is black joggers, and then the variation you get will be either my top or my hat. Right, kind of like you.
That's a transition.
I'm getting more. He's rubbing off on me. I'm more get to work than I've ever been.
Well, if you have the same thing to wear every day, you take that decision out. It is boring.
It is boring.
But it doesn't bring me any joy to wear anything different. So, and then other people around me, they don't care what I wear. You know,
even my wife approves of my joggers.
They prefer the bear suit.
Even Maisie liked my joggers. These are good. These
Happy
are good
birthday.
pants. I like these. These came out pretty good.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
The Spark STEM Fest is this weekend at the Orlando Science Center. Also, Science Night Live is on Saturday. So not only do you, and you can go to Spark STEM Fest for free if you're a member of the Science Center.
If you're already a member, you go out there with your family. You may not be taking advantage of all these cool events that they have that normally, not always, but normally you get in for free. So I would definitely go down there if you are just looking for something to do with your family. Spark STEMfest is a cool way to, give them something that will be engaging and fun and interactive. And also Science Night Live, if you want to do something a bit more adult, you can go to that, and they add in little light bites, hors d'oeuvres, some drinks, some cocktails.
Oh, they get it flowing.
Yeah, it is a heck of a good time, man.
Also, we're going to do a Leap Day Sapo tournament on February 29th on Leap Day, starting around 6 o'clock at Hourglass Brewing in Longwood. So,
I always thought that when we were doing the Sapo tournaments about 10, maybe even 14 years ago at this point, I was always thinking that Sapo, somewhere along the lines, would catch on, and then other bars would start doing Sapo, and it would be like stolen from us. Not that we're the originators. That's not what I'm saying.
It would become more popular.
Yeah, I was like, this game is so fun that it will only be a matter of time before there will be other bars that are setting up rooms that have Sapo. Like, remember when axe throwing, you'd have axe throwing at almost every bar, and then I feel like that's kind of, it's just like any phase. It, builds up real big, and then it kind of mellows out a little bit. Yeah. I think we could go through another Sapo phase again.
It did, but it never really happened. Like, no one ever played.
Well, maybe we'll start the first one, is what I mean.
I think it's the coins, the fact that they're the tiny, heavy, slammer-like coins, that maybe they too easily get lost.
What's the most dangerous bar game?
The axe throwing.
Darts, Hammerschlagen.
Darts are pretty. You played that the other weekend, right? So Hammerschlagen has made the rounds. When I saw Sam doing Hammerschlagen at the Beer Olympics at Rock Pit, I was like, oh, well, that's obviously it's made it. Like, Hammerschlagen is now as popular, or
breweries,
it's as important as Flip Cup or like beer pong.
Although getting the logs to nail the nails into is difficult for a lot of people.
It can be difficult. Darts, though, I always thought that if you were a man and you became an adult man, that when you would go to the bar, you would carry your own darts. All men did it. I thought that.
That was a very 1980s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 47, born in 76. I thought that as a young man, at right around the age of 19 to 24, I would have to choose what I would be bringing to the bar. Would I bring darts? Would I bring a leather bag with a pool cue in it? Would I have a bowling ball in a bag? There were sports that drunk men did, and you had to choose one.
Yeah.
Now, my dad did an outlier drunk sport, which was softball.
Okay, softball dad.
Not a lot of softball, but, afterwards they'd have a couple cocktails. I think they would play.
My stepdad did bowling. My stepdad and my mom would go every Tuesday night to their bowling league night, and then go, and then he had his own bag.
I'm jealous of that.
And then I
romanticized that as a young man, as a boy. I thought that's what there was a part of me. I'm being real with you, Sam. Sam's looking at me like I'm an idiot.
No, I'm just thinking about how vastly different my childhood was. My dad just got blackout drunk every day and fell asleep with a cigarette on the couch.
There is that.
In his tidy whities.
Wow.
Eating plain spaghetti noodles with butter and black pepper.
Wow,
he's an interesting man.
The pepper keeps him spicy. But I feel like a little bit of a failure. I can't help but feel like a little bit of a failure because I am not doing that. I am a dad. I am a husband. I love being a husband and a dad. But I don't have the I don't go to the meetings of the Lions
dad
Club.
Hobbies.
I don't go to the bowling alley with my ball. I don't play darts. I don't do pool cue. I'm not shooting pool.
No softball.
No softball. None
just
of
play
that.
video games and watch baseball. Right?
No, but I do it with my kids. It's with Maisie. There is no definitive line in there where I go and it's just me and the boys. Doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Well,
I don't think so. There's people that do it. You just don't do it.
No, you're probably right.
But it's not as popular.
No.
None of my, I know it's Miami friend syndrome, but none of my Miami friends have any quintessential thing they do where it's they go out and have some sort of league.
Trav is in a Drive Shack league. He goes every Thursday. He'll be going today.
Yeah.
He has a whiskey meetup every month with his friends.
You got no kids.
They all have kids.
But do you have a ladies thing that you go to and do?
Not really.
Yeah.
I want to try doing that more, but it is hard to fit everyone's schedule to meet up.
I have no interest in hanging out with other adults that are looking to
have fun.
Like I'm just like,
you're like, that's not your thing. I'm not wired for that right now.
But then what's weird is like going back to my stepdad, which he was a real Florida real man. He
was a strong, quiet, hardworking
construction
man,
workers. Yeah,
quiet, hardworking man.
Yeah, his skin so tan it was like a football. You know what I'm saying? The quintessential. Florida man.
Florida cracker.
Mustache.
Yeah.
He was jacked,
baseball
skinny, diabetes. Yeah. Baseball hat. Yeah. Guy Harvey.
Shorts.
Jean shorts, Guy Harvey shirt, boat shoes if he was going out.
Yeah, you can draw him.
Never wore sandals. That's ridiculous. Anyway.
You know why.
He would go bowling, and I remember he had his own ball, and he had the ball, the shiner, and all those stuff. Yeah. And then he'd go with, and then he never missed a Tuesday with my mom going bowling. And I remember
that's cute, man.
And I remember as a kid, I was like,
I'm going to start doing meat shoot every Sunday.
I was like, is this guy man having fun?
It is cool.
I've never seen him have fun.
It's one of the things that if Sam said that her and Travis are in a bowling league now, and they had the shirts and they had the ball with the shine, like you're describing, and Sam had the little bag, and then
we want to start kickball,
and you got to do that'd be fun, and you got to do like the glasses, and you had little ponytails. Like I would be jealous.
Go
of that.
all in.
I would be jealous of that.
Hold on, I have to call my mom and ask if my
and ask her what day it is.
Well, wait a minute. Then your mom.
Ooh, what'd your mom get you for your birthday?
Then your mom had her own bowling ball, dude. Right?
No, she did. Yeah.
So I mean, like,
where's that thing at?
You've never talked about this. This is an intense and important part of Florida real man history is having your parents be active bowling league members. No, I'm dead serious. Like I had so many friends that were in a bowling league. My mom and dad were not. They were she did service.
I don't know that any
league.
Of my friends' parents were in any leagues.
My mom was in a sorority, and then the girls would get together, and they'd either do a service project, or they'd do something to raise money for the community, or they'd do like a game night where they play like some sort of game.
It's more of just Miami friends hang out, get drunk.
And then my dad did softball, but it was a church league in the softball. And then he would do Lions Club, service club stuff like that. And he really liked, if it was like service, he really liked, what do you call it? At the Salvation Army, he would help pick out the clothing for like if you were homeless and you went there, he'd help size out your clothing. Okay. He liked doing that. Nice. Yeah, it was cool. What line?
Line 1. Mom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So we were talking about back in the day. I remember you and Steve would go bowling in your weekly bowling league, right?
Yes.
So,
we did.
So what's weird to me though is that Steve was a real man, and I never really.
Bowling's a real man sport. Though.
It's
basically a bar with balls, right?
You're right.
Hold on a second. I've never thought about that.
But throwing balls.
Did he have fun when he went? Because I've never really seen him have like jovial fun.
Did he jump up and down when he got a strike?
Or maybe he was just real competitive.
Yeah. How'd it go, Mom?
Yeah, he really liked it because I think the competitive, and then his mom was on a league on anher one, and so he gets to see her once a week, and that kind of made up for seeing her.
Family time.
This guy was a gem, dude. This guy was
sweetheart.
amazing.
You're an animal.
You're
a monster, Tom.
You released a bird into the woods.
Poor bird.
Yeah,
was it Taz? What was his name?
Taz.
Yeah.
Don't even speak his name. You'll get Mama Van crying.
So, and then back in when this was happening, you could smoke in the bowling alley and the whole thing, right? Could you actually smoke on the lanes, or did you have to step 1 foot back? I like that rule. I remember that in the 90s where it was like, you could only smoke on the carpet.
I blow my smoke right into the air dryer.
Yeah, it was a better time. That's
it was.
You just stepped up one, and you had to be like where the carpet is, and then everybody could. And they had those little stupid folding ashtrays that the ones made out of like 10.
Oh yeah,
they still have those at 3 Points Bowling.
Yeah, they do still have those
in the bathroom stalls.
But I actually started bowling on a league with Pop Pop. back in the day. Your dad wouldn't bowl, but
this is a family sport.
This is in the blood.
You gotta start bowling.
I gotta get a shirt. We gotta get a shirt. This is the year of the strike.
I've never seen Pop Up even have any interest in bowling.
Write this down.
You witnessed Pop Up bowling?
Balls and everything.
Balls. He had more than one. How many balls did he have?
3.
What? Oh, you have
3 balls.
3-ball Merle.
Hold on. I can't imagine Pop Up bowling and then being interested in some ridiculous hobby.
He's competitive. And maybe, what do you mean?
Well, I'll say this. It was an all-men's league at first that he was bowling. But I guess, people started getting busy. And then they made it like where it's a men and women's
co-ed
league. And this was when we lived off of when we first got married, and he didn't have a partner. So I said, I like to bowl. So that's how I only bowled with him on the one time. He was very competitive, and so I only went.
I know that guy.
Pop slapped you around.
Yeah, I know somebody very competitive.
Yeah. Before my grandfather passed, he knew that Hillary Clinton was running for president, and he did not like it. It was a different time. He
had a hard time with the whole mixed league thing. He thought, now he did bowl twice a week because he bowled on a men's league that was still hanging on, and then a league that had, women and men. Your dad
he had a little bit of both. So he had like the integration league, and then he had the no man league.
He had trophies. You don't remember seeing them when we were cleaning out his house?
You blocked this out. I don't think you wanted us to know that it's in the blood that you are a famous bowler.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
I thought those trophies were from some sort.
Dude, you might have been the Tiger Woods of bowling. You need to start now. You need to start bowling now. You need to start training your sons. It's in them, dude. It is in your sons.
No, he started bowling on a league when he worked for Channel 4. It got started like Channel 4 would have a league.
He worked for the news?
We didn't know he worked for Channel 4.
What'd he do?
He worked in the printing department, did all their printing for all the stuff that needed, I guess, different headlines or menus or.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he did all that.
We should have interviewed Pop. I guess we had a chance. He lived a life, man.
All those memories.
All those years of sitting in his garage, we only talked about World War II.
And politics.
We talked, and then we said quietly.
You never knew anything about him except he hated Hillary Clinton and he didn't trust Obama.
Obama, and World War II. And then he'd tell me gruesome stories. And then I'll be, oh my God.
Yeah, when I first met your dad, he was working for Channel 4, and he ran the printing department before he retired out of there, and then got a job at the working for that big hospital in Broward, doing all their printing.
Nice.
Let's talk about all the places you used to be able to smoke.
Literally everywhere.
Everywhere, man. Airplanes.
I have a
hospitals.
Yeah, hospitals.
So my mom has a story. I don't know. I don't want to embarrass you, Mom, but you don't get easily embarrassed. You're like me. We're the same.
Very tough.
My mom has a story of after she gave birth to me, she was just smoking in the.
Oh yeah.
Like smoking in the hospital after
she deserves it. She's working hard, man. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? She needed some relief.
You should open a window and smoke in the hospital.
I honestly, after seeing it, I think any woman that does that,
give them a cigarette
if they choose. It's just like people that fight for the country. Like,
you're goddamn right.
Yeah, you can't smoke, but you can fight for the. No, if you fight for the country or you push up something out of your,
give them a whiskey and a cigarette.
You get a cigarette right on the spot. No questions asked.
Listen, the best part of it was the doctor that delivered you. He came in and had a cigarette with me.
Yes.
It was what you did. It would have been
congratulations.
This guy was a true gentleman. He was like, it's very nice to meet you.
Did he light your cigarette?
No, he actually laid down. He goes, boy, that was a tough day. We need a cigarette.
Lay down?
Can't even breathe.
So, I just want everybody to let that sink in. Especially all the young kids out there listening. My mom gave birth and then smoked a cigarette with the doctor in the hospital.
Like giving him a high five.
Yeah, I had a C-section, so I had just had an operation.
In the operation.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to smoke after.
It's very unsanitary.
You're like, the drop ceiling's yellow.
Chat room wants to know if you were born in Eastern Europe.
This is Miami. This is
Baptist.
Yeah, this is Baptist Hospital in Miami, Florida.
That's fantastic.
So, did you ever smoke on airplanes, Mom?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that must have been the
you know the
awesome.
famous story about my mom smoking on the airplane, and then she saw a child smoking on an airplane.
Was a child?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you remember this story. I've told this story a million times. And my mom saw a child smoking on an airplane, and she went up to the person and she said, "You shouldn't be smoking. You're a child. You should not be smoking." And it was a little person.
Yeah, I do remember this
It was
story.
an N-word little person, and he goes, "Why don't you mind your business, bitch?" He's like, called her a bitch, like right in front of my dad. And what's my dad supposed to do?
Right.
I think he just went back to his seat. I think my dad was like, "Well, you and me."
Because he was right.
Yeah, my dad
She
was
should've minded her
5'6".
business.
I'm 5'2". My dad was 5'6". My dad was no. She was in the wrong. She even admitted it. But I think my dad was like, "Yes, sir." You know, like he was like, "You and I, we're the same."
And then he cursed her to have a little person baby.
Oh, wow.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Wow.
Let's talk about smoking with the windows up.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a move.
Well, this weekend would be a smoking with the windows up weekend when it was raining.
Yes, rainy and cold.
Rainy and cold.
Windows up,
with the windows up.
Now they do. They started making those things where rain doesn't go in
Where
your car.
the rain don't go inside. You know those things.
They're like little.
They're like rain anti-rain visors for your windows.
Turn to me and say these colors don't run. For some reason, I don't know.
They're like car visors.
And then because you use the ashtray in the car, it was filled with cigarette butts.
yeah.
I would smoke so many cigarettes in my Bronco too, and had so many butts in the ashtray that when I would put one final one out, it would set all the other butts on fire.
Yep. And
so many butts.
It was everybody in the 80s smoked, right, Mom? Like if you didn't smoke, you were the weird one.
Yeah, your dad never smoked. He never smoked cigarettes.
That's interesting.
But it's not that green.
In fact, it really bugged him that I smoked. So a lot of times I wouldn't smoke it if although I guess he got used to it because I don't remember him bitching too much about it later. But he never smoked cigarettes. Neither did Pop. Remember that he used to have a thing about how they started charging 50 cents per pack, so he quit.
Yeah,
Tom, you have that.
I think it was 35 cents. It was like
35,
too far.
Yeah, it was like after the war. He's like, our cigarettes went up to 35 cents, and I was like, oh, I will have none of it.
Yeah. And he's a draw line guy. Remember, he's like, I will never gamble again, and he never gambled again.
Yeah, and then he's like,
do you guys have like your parents' friend had that one person that rolled their own cigarettes?
Oh, yeah.
No,
God.
we did have the one guy that smoked cigars though, smoked them, didn't just enjoy them. He smoked them.
All right, Mom. Well, thank you for telling us those stories.
Yeah, that was great.
And we are going to put together a segment called 80s Mom.
I was going to say, this is just a little taste of a segment we're working on.
This is a beta test.
And so we appreciate it. And
that was fun.
I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, honey.
Hey, shouldn't we congratulate her on your birthday? Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah. 42.
Smoke a good cigarette for him.
Smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
42 years ago today.
She was smoking in the hospital.
Good job.
Do you remember what time I was born, Mom? No way, right?
Yeah, you were born in the morning about 5:45, I think, because it was an emergency C-section, and
he's coming out.
Yeah, it was in the morning time because I remember your dad had a meltdown because we didn't even think about C-sections back then. I don't know why, we just didn't, and so he was scared because I had to go in the operating room. So I remember looking at him and I thought, oh God, things must be bad because he didn't look so good.
You would be scared about Crystal. That checks out. That checks out 100%. That sounds just like you.
But what's the best is your dad never smoked cigarettes, and when I went to go have Jenny, then the rules were starting to change where you couldn't smoke in the hospitals. You could just smoke outside, which now you can't even do that. But you're not allowed to smoke it. So I had Jenny. I had to have another C-section. So after I woke up, I was already awake. So your dad was sitting there. I go, I'm dying for a cigarette. I got to have a cigarette. He goes, well, quit. I can't roll you outside. And I said, well, let me go in the bathroom and I'll just run the blow dryer.
Yes. Blow the ghost.
It's the bad way.
She's been blowing ghosts since 82, baby.
It all circled around. It all circled back around. Flush the ghost.
Is that they smelt it, and I guess the nurse called security.
Of course they did, Mama Man. It's a cigarette.
The thing was, your dad took the heat for me because he said
that's a good man.
He went out, and he said, "I'm sorry, that was me.
You would do that
I couldn't
too.
go outside." And he took the heat for me, and he never smoked a day in his life.
You would do
That is
that.
a
You
good
would do that for Crystal. If Crystal wanted a cigarette, that was mine. 100%. This sounds like a you. That's really cool. What a great story to have. Well, hey, congratulations and thanks for doing this for us. Okay.
Okay, guys.
We'll
bye.
talk to you soon. See you.
Bye.
She's so sweet. You're a lucky boy.
Smoking in the hospital 42 years ago today.
Yeah,
Times have changed.
Hey.
Anyway, all right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more corporate time.